I just had a realization. Most people who start organize LLCs are wasting their money. Now, I had this epiphany the other day, well, actually yesterday, when I was doing all of my deadline stuff for partnerships and S corporations. So, every year, a lot of times business owners will wait till the last minute to file their taxes. So normally, beginning of the year, April, May, they file extensions, personal returns. In April, they file business extensions. In March, March 15th to be exact. And then that gives them an extra 6 months to then file their final return September 15th. And a lot of people get that wrong, right? And so today, I wanted to talk about why most people get this wrong and what they can do about it, right? So there's about 5 things that I've noticed that people that create LLCs, start LLCs, are really losing money on, right? And so I'll give it to you up front, right? So number one, LLCs aren't tax havens, right? That's number one. Number two, most times people don't understand the limited liability that they're using these LLCs for, and don't truly leverage it to the top or at their most effective rate. All right. The other thing is a lot of people don't realize that there's state fees to start up and to continue to run these operations, right? And then also people don't realize that there are interest and penalties because a lot of people miss their tax deadlines. And went through a lot of that yesterday. And a lot of times people forget that all this stuff is kind of forgotten about, right? But again, a lot of people don't realize. And then, number four is they don't realize just how complicated it is to truly run an LLC or S corporation. Now, I know a lot of people for a long, long time have said, hey, you want to start a business, start an LLC. Well, that's not what people should do. But before we get too along in this, right? I'm Kamari Ellis. Welcome to the Tax Problem Fixer podcast. Okay. I love helping people fix their tax problems. And one of the ways you fix tax problems is you avoid them altogether. And that's what I want to talk about today. I haven't done a live stream in a while, so I'm a little rusty. So I'm getting back onto it, right? But again, I see this as a major problem for a lot of people. And I think it's something that people, if they put a little bit of thought, possibly get a consult with a qualified tax person, not some social media guru person, they could really get their bang for their buck. But again, I just want to run through those real quick. I gave you the top, right? I didn't go into depth with those. And what happened was I was sending out an email to my all the people that subscribe to my newsletter. And by the way, that is the Tax Tuesday Insider. Let me throw that on the banner right here so everybody can know what I'm talking about. So I was about to send an email out to everyone, but I said, you know what? Let me do a quick video. Let me jump on and talk about it real quick because it kind of bothers me. Not a lot, a little bit, just a little bit, right? Okay, but one thing a lot of people get wrong. People think that there is a tax savings when you form an LLC. There is no, again, I repeat, there is no tax savings when you form an LLC. Most people that form LLCs, they're formed just like regular individuals. The taxes get formed or filed just like individuals. The same tax deductions you get will be the same ones as an individual starts a business. I've talked about this many, many, many times, right? But for some reason, everybody thinks one, you need to start an LLC to start a business, which is not true. Two, that there's some tax savings. Not true. Not true. Not true. All right. So now, per my industry standards, I'm really not even supposed to talk about this. By many accounting and tax organizations, they say leave all the LLC stuff to the attorneys because it's a legal issue. It's about liability protection. That's what LLCs are for. And so technically, I'm not supposed to really talk about it too much. But guess what happens? Once the lawyers get done with it, most lawyers don't talk about tax. They say, go talk to a tax accountant about this. And a lot of lawyers will say, okay, just get the LLC. If you get a good one, they'll say, figure out the tax ramifications first. But some of them don't do that. They'll take your money and they'll just file it and they'll go from there. And that's terrible. But when they send you to talk to a tax accountant, the tax accountant's going to ask you, well, what are you using this for? What's the point of it? And a lot of people are kind of clueless when they get into this. All right. So again, first things first, LLCs are not here to save you money on taxes. Please write that down. Please send that note to somebody. If you are a business owner thinking about that, just know that it's not here to save you on taxes. All right. All right. Number two, again, LLCs are for liability protection. Many people don't realize this. I was doing a class on Saturday, and that's another thing. I was invited out to teach a talk at a class of real estate investors over the weekend. And we were talking about LLCs. And a lot of people think that you need an LLC for every property you have. Wrong. Right. And that is a big misperception for a lot of people. So I let people know that, you don't need an LLC for every property you own. And honestly, a lot of people don't even need an LLC, especially when you get to your first property, because it's way, way easier to get financing in an individual's name, in an individual's social security number, versus setting up your LLC, trying to get funding, trying to acquire the property. It's usually way easier, way simpler. Let's say four units or less. It's way easier to get it done under your personal name, under your social security number. But that ain't sexy, folks. So a lot of times people are misguided and they get things boggled up. You can start a business, you can invest in property just in your own name, just in your own social security number. And a lot of times to get going, to get started, right, just to get your feet underneath you, to get going, that's all you need to get going. So again, when you're starting off on these missions to create wealth, to make money, you want to make them simple. What's the saying? KISS, keep it short and sweet, right? Sometimes some people say, keep it, what was the other term? Keep it simple, or what is it? Short and what is it? Keep it short, stupid. I don't like calling people stupid. So, but a lot of people will say that. A lot of people say that. So just keep it short and sweet. Just get going. Figure out one, if you even like real estate. Figure out one, if you even like business or the business that you're in. Because I run into a lot of real estate investors who get into it. They get a couple of tenants. They're trash tenants. They trash their properties. They don't like the experience. And they'd rather not be involved. Right? So if you've gone and done all these things, set up an LLC, got your EIN number, got your business bank account, and then you figure out you don't even like it, kind of wasted time, wasted money, wasted resources. What was the point of it all? So, I tell people not to do all that, not to do all that at all. Now, the other thing a lot of people don't realize, right? It costs money to set up your LLC. I'm in the great state of Pennsylvania. It's $125 in Pennsylvania. Okay. Now, to set it up, ongoing, the cost isn't that great. But guess what? If you're in California, I think California is like $75. Somebody double check me on this. But guess what? Every year, every single year, whether you make a profit or not, you have to pay California, or what they call an FTB, franchise tax board, $800. Whether you have made a penny, a million, a dollar, it doesn't matter. You got to cut that cost to them. So again, I don't really advise people to start LLCs and S corps when they're brand new, when they're fresh out, and they don't understand what's going on. Okay. Now, something else that I run into a lot of times with people that start these businesses, they got a homie, they got a girlfriend, man or woman. They got a friend they want to do business with, romantic or not. And they say, all right, let's get in the business. First thing they do is start an LLC. Bad move. Bad move. Why? Because it throws off things and it makes things way more complicated. And so, like I said, I was thinking about this all yesterday when I was getting ready for the tax deadline for partnerships and S corporations, is that a lot of people are not doing that much activity that even warrant an LLC. But now you created this partnership, because again, and I might be using some terms interchangeably. So in my world, when you have what's called a multi-member LLC, it's a partnership. And that's, two or more people getting together. But it requires a different tax return. And that different tax return has consequences if you don't file timely. So it all kind of comes into play, right? I'm thinking about getting people's returns filed timely. They haven't got me their stuff. They haven't even thought about me, even though I've sent out emails. And I'm just like, some of y'all don't even need LLCs. Some of y'all shouldn't even be here right now. You're not even really doing any business. I mean, so a lot of times I feel like it would be better if folks would just, if the boyfriend, girlfriend, or friends, they want to do something together, just do the business under one person. Figure out if you're really serious about business. Figure out if your partner is really a good partner. And here's a little tip. Partnerships are like marriage. You're going to go through ups and downs with people. You're going to have to deal with their feelings, their emotions. You're going to have to deal with how they view money. You're going to have to deal with how they view the world. You're going to have to deal with their value system. Now, if anybody is watching, and if you're married, you'll understand what I'm talking about. For those folks who just watch the social media podcast, relationship podcast, everything you're learning is trash. Take it from a guy who's been married for quite a while, right? So when you look at all these things, and you're thinking about doing business with somebody for the long run, right? I hope you got a long-term mindset. You got to make sure your partner, your colleague, fits your standards, right? Because it's not just about money. It's also, man, do I like even talking to this person? Do I even like being around this person? Or does this person make me sick? Right? So just keep that in mind. And so again, when you miss these deadlines for these partnerships, a lot of times, they come with big fees. Now, I didn't prepare them, but I want to say they're $220 a month for partnerships for each month, and it's up to a certain amount. But that can get costly, especially when you have more than one partner. I mean, listen, one partner is enough. Two partners, great. Three partners, like all those things are starting to add up. So again, it's better to just say, you know what? Let's say it's me, Kamari, and I'm with my friend. All right, let's call my friend Timothy, right? We're going to do everything under Timothy's name. We're going to do everything under Timothy's social security number. I'm going to trust Timothy with the money. I'm going to trust that Timothy is going to be fully transparent with me. We're going to see how we work out. And then at the end of the year, when it's time to file taxes, what Timothy can do is that he can issue me a 1099 so that I am not paying or he's not paying for my tax bill. And that's something that would be really easy, really simple, and could save a lot of people a lot of heartache and a lot of pain in the long run. But again, all y'all want to be fast. All y'all think y'all grown. That's what being another accountant friend of mine say. Everybody think they grown, meaning they know everything. They don't need to ask any questions. They don't need to look up the book. They don't need to seek any wisdom or any guidance. They got it. They know what's going on. And y'all know what happens a lot of times when children think they got it. And when children think they're grown, something usually gets broken. Something usually happens. And that's not because they're not smart, because, most kids are smart. Most people are smart. Hold that thought. I don't know if I agree with that. There are a lot of smart people out here. Let me say that. There are a lot of smart people out here. However, I will say a lot of times people will not use all of their mental capability when dealing with an issue. I don't know why people take advice from people on social media. Most of these people are just there to sell you something. It drives me crazy. I'm going to stop caring. I keep saying I'm going to stop caring. But a lot of times these people really, a lot of times don't know what they're talking about. A lot of times, again, are just there for the clicks and like factor. Again, they don't know what they're talking about. All right. But I wanted to come on here and I wanted to talk about that. Right. And so if you want to learn more about tax from me, just go on over to Tax Tuesday Insider. Sign on up. It's totally free. You'll get a free email in your box every Tuesday. I'm working on the timeline and the scheduling, but my promise is it will be there every Tuesday. All right. So until the next time, if you have any questions for me, feel free to shoot me an email at taxtuesdaypodcast@gmail.com, and I'll be more than happy to answer them here. Now, again, I'm Kamari Ellis. I love fixing tax problems. People have tax problems all the time. I do believe, though, most tax problems are preventable, and you prevent them by a good foundation from the start, because you know the saying, right? An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, meaning that it's way cheaper, way less of a headache in the beginning to solve a problem than waiting for it to fester, become colossal, and cause a lot of headache and a lot of money on the back end. So make sure any endeavors you have, any endeavors anybody may have, tell them to seek guidance up front. Don't wait till the back end. All right. Until the next time, y'all. I'll see y'all soon. Kamari Ellis out. Have a great day.